Alright, making a video. You know, about, I don't know, it's probably just about people's irrational overreactions. Or it could be about the subject of this transsexual bathroom thing. Or something. Or, I don't know. Anyway, Heroin Church, who, yes, is insane. On trans issues, fuck you, ignorant Jersey regressive cunt. Never voted against a trans issue in my life, but okay, yes, I'm the enemy. And Yvette Satie, likewise, your comments on trans women using bathrooms was a bit insensitive. Nobody says worse. Trans people, one of the most misunderstood and marginalized groups in society. I don't know if it's entirely true. Always something. Okay, back. So anyway, really, I'm quite open-minded about, trying anything to make people comfortable. I just don't, personally, I don't care. Okay, if women went to the men's room, I don't care. What I care more about is the fact that, I would rather use ladies' rooms just because men's rooms are disgusting. I mean, men are, some men, there's this percentage of men, I don't know what the percentage is, but they are disgusting, and they do disgusting things in bathrooms. And it's, I've had nightmares about bathrooms with the overfilled toilets and the floor's fucking wet, and you gotta walk across this. I mean, it's disgusting. So I think bathrooms ought to be unisex facilities that are made of stainless steel, like little domes or something, and you go in there and you use it, and then there's a machine and it shoots, 200-degree steam on it and sanitizes everything, because it's disgusting. Public restrooms are disgusting. So anyway, I mean, if I had my way. So all I was explaining in my video was about how people are just, they want everything and they want it now. And they want quick, simple answers to problems. They don't want to pay any attention to the fact that that's going to create some other problem or that it's going to offend somebody else. So, yes, to placate you, you have to offend somebody else, and that has implications, and everybody just ought to be a little bit of appreciative of all that shit. I don't think this should be a big deal for trans-sex people to go to either men's room or women's rooms. I think either way there should be a sensitivity, and they should also be respectful. Now, there's cases where, this happens, where, the men aren't surgically altered, and they adjust their junk in the public part of the restroom in the ladies' room. Those things happen. Now, I think women have the expectation they're not going to see penises when they go to the ladies' room. And that's the kind of case I was talking about, that there's, there has to be, respect and sensitivity has to go both ways. If women have the expectation that they're going to be generous and say, okay, and give up something that they have, exclusion, then it's on the other side then to respect that liberty and not take liberties. That's all I was saying. That this shouldn't have to be fixed with laws, for fuck's sake. And that makes me a fucking bigot or something? I mean, you people are just, you're just pointing out how you're just so extremist. You just won't have a rational perspective. And, you're inconsolable and incapable of rational negotiation for your rights. It's like the drug users who just say, legalize everything. I don't care if the crane operators are stoned. I don't care if airplane pilots have hangovers. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. They don't... Well, fuck you. I do care. Fuck you. I want some dude, duding down the highway. Oh, man, this Colombian reefers. Yeah, fuck that shit. So have a little respect. You want the right. You want liberty. You got to pay for it a little bit with that thing of mutual respect. Somebody's going to respect your right, then you have to kind of respect their rights. You got to respect their sensitivities and their sensibilities. There, is that a draconian statement? No, it isn't. It's a reasonable statement. So I'm going to play my video and point out I didn't say anything in here for you assholes to get all bent out of shape about. Nothing. You sort of have to know your audience a little bit, right? You can sort of tell the chick that might, be interested from the chick that might not be interested. And you use good judgment. It seems like nobody can even do that anymore. Nobody can even apply a little bit of rational judgment and say, yes, I can tell the difference. Okay, so that was a separate subject, and I was leading into this one, and the two I found related in the sense that this, like men, lounging in the bus with their legs open, that kind of shit should be understand that if you're doing your little bulgy thing, maybe you shouldn't be sticking that in somebody's face. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for bulges sticking out and all that kind of crap, but you do it in places where people know that's what they can expect. If somebody goes to my website or something, they might expect to see something. Something like that might pop out. That's a reasonable expectation. It shouldn't be an expectation when you get on a bus. I mean, these problems really shouldn't be problems, should they? It's like one of these transsexual people, they want to use the girls' bathroom and all. Well, they should be a little bit sensitive. I mean, they're expecting us to be sensitive, right? To have sensitivity and say, yes, I understand your dilemma. This is a real dilemma. It's always been a real dilemma, okay? The whole guy thing, gays in the military thing, this great. Yeah, no, I could have brought up the whole male showering in high school kind of thing. It's very awkward. I mean, there's, for homosexuals, this, it's a sexual thing. It's like women in breastfeeding. They're just pretending that most men don't associate breasts with sex, that it isn't a stimulant, a sexual stimulant, and they're going to pretend that, oh, yeah, I just turned the switch that says that doesn't turn me on. No, there's no fucking I turned the switch shit, bitch. Okay, I mean, you can't have it both ways. You're either going to want your parts to be sexually desirable, or you want to turn them into baby devices, okay? If I'm supposed to think about your uterus and your vagina as something that produces babies and not something to have sex with, then fine. Okay, write it on your breasts. Okay, this is not a sexual item. I don't wish to be a female of sexual desire. Okay, or something like that. Put your burqa on, for fuck's sake, then. All right, I mean, put your baby in your goddamn burqa. I mean, I just don't. It's just so irrational, to just deny a fact of our life, that most men are conditioned to associate women's breasts with sex. That's a fact. Now, you want to raise them not to do that? Well, then, yes, overexposed breasts. Put women breastfeeding on every, have the Flintstones, remake the Flintstones or SpongeBob, and have women hanging their breasts out all over the place feeding babies. And then, yes, then men will find them a turn off. And, so you'll like it better that way, right? Fuck. Some problems. These are not fake problems. These are sort of real problems. And they're not easily solved, so there's no... So they're not easily solved. Is that a lie? Is that crazy? Is that a silly thing to say? That it's not easy to solve the problem of, yes, we're not all the same, and that the majority sensibility, like most men, okay, maybe they like hanging out with other men, with their Johnsons hanging out and all that kind of shit. I never had actual homosexual anything, but I've always found nakedness a little bit arousing. So I mean, yeah, I find it a little bit awkward hanging around with people naked, and I'm not supposed to have sex. I don't even, I can't even associate things like slow dancing. That's sort of foreplay, in my opinion. I mean, yes, for a lot of people, it's just dancing. Well, for me, it's not. And there's no sensitivity. So what do you want me to say? I'm saying these are complex subjects, not simple. You're not going to find some simple answer that just solves the problem until you go to something like unisex bathrooms that are just sanitary facilities that people go into to do whatever they have to do in private. Little privacy boxes. Soundproof, smell-proof, whatever, that you go do your business in. So if you got to readjust your junk, you go in a little privacy booth. There's no easy solution. And so, because there's no easy solution, they still keep trying to shove the round peg into the square hole thing. They just keep trying to ignore the fact that, no, you're not going to solve this with something easy. And the simple solution is to just say, well, let the queers use the girls' restroom. Yeah, I just queer. I was using it in the familiar sense. Like the bros use the word nigga and such. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. I mean, I could have said, us queers. Like I said, I would prefer to use the ladies' room. I would prefer to have a place to, maybe lie down. Sometimes you feel like you just need to lie down. Sometimes I feel like I'm having my period. Because if they're not going to apply this sensitivity thing, and recognize that that is sort of a trespass on women. It's a trespass on their traditional ownership of a certain expectation. That, yes, they won't see penises in the girls' room. And I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation. And that's what I meant by sensitivity. That, yes, trans people should be allowed to use the girls' room. It's just that they have to be girls then. And if they have to do something ungirl-like, they probably should do that in the stall. You got to acknowledge that, and that you got to be respectful of that, and that means that you don't, you do everything you can to conceal your transiness. Yeah, so that's the terrible statement. The whole point is you're trying to say, look, okay, I'm being something else than I was natively made to be, and I'm not going to show the pathway to that. And look, I mean, this shit happens in real life, and it's unfortunate, but I mean, it is difficult. It's like say some disabled person, in a wheelchair or something, has his diaper changed in the men's room or something. It doesn't matter what sex I am, I'm just going to be goddamn uncomfortable. Period. Period. When you're in that kind of position. Anyway, but we can use a little bit of a judgment. So I'm just saying that both sides should be sensitive to each other's sensibilities, and I'm saying this conversation really isn't something it's not really relevant to me, because I don't care who's the fuck's using the bathroom, as long as they don't touch me, and as long as they're not doing something overtly insufferable in terms of some odor or some disease they're spreading or doing something disgusting. Okay, whatever, fine. I don't care. As long as I can do whatever I have to do without getting poisoned, I don't care. But I'm just saying that traditionally women have a certain expectation about the sanctity of the ladies' room. And there's a huge difference. I've cleaned both. I mean, it's just they're completely different places. Completely different. So Hannah Sarkeesian wants men. What's the title? Wants women. There. So I think that was it. That was the extent of my commentary. And these, I think, obnoxiously insensitive, emotionally retarded people overreact with this insane rhetoric. Ignorant Jersey regressive cunt. What did I say? Did I say there should be laws against it? No. Did I say I support laws against it? No. I'm sorry. This is why you people are fucking insane. You can't pay attention. Everything's an emotional, personal issue. I mean, if this was some other issue that didn't involve you, there'd be no need for all this excessive rhetoric. You're like the frickin' circumcision nuts. I mean, this is somehow a personal issue with you. You somehow personally feel offended that somebody has a circumcised penis and thinks it's just fucking fine. And it offends you. Because you have a skanky, smelly, slimy penis. And, it's not my fault your parents were retarded. Jesus. I mean, shit. So, anyway. So I'll listen to Yvette's video. She made a response. And I'll see, if there's something I need to respond to, but I'm pretty damn sure it's completely irrational in proportion to anything I actually said. And so if there's more to add, I'll add it. If not, I won't. See how it Alright, so I'm mostly through most of the video, and yeah, it really doesn't, it just doesn't merit this, in my opinion. If you want to talk about the subject, that's fine. I just don't think my comments are a reason to talk about the subject, because I don't think I said anything horrid. Or worthy of the comment, as if I don't understand or I'm not sensitive, because I think I'm obviously am sensitive. So anyway, so the first thing was he thought it was this unimaginable circumstance that some men, some trans men, that women do other things in bathrooms besides just go to the bathroom. That sometimes they freshen up, they do their makeup, they do different things. And the problem has been, these are real events, I didn't make this shit up, that a trans man he's got to adjust his junk because he's got it strapped down and all that crap. And that's what I meant by hiding their transness, that they can't be doing something overtly mechanically related to their previous male condition or their physical male condition. That's the point. They have to conduct themselves appropriately in the appropriate privacy rooms. Or whatever you want to. I'm just saying that's the kind of the nature of the threat. I mean, people who exaggerate this threat into, a bunch of men are going to put on dresses just so they can hang out in the ladies' room, so they can rape women. I mean, those are kind of idiotic comments, because yes, men can barge into ladies' rooms anytime they want and rape somebody, so that's not going to really fix any of that. I mean, I'm all for putting cameras everywhere, so yeah, I'd say put a camera in the public part of the restroom. Because, yeah, I mean, I want to know who's drilling holes in the stalls and who's fucking pissing on the wall. And, I mean, all this, the graffiti shit, all that shit. It'd be nice just to, let's give him a ticket for that. And there should be a penalty, a high price you pay if you are caught and convicted of violating a woman in some way, exposing yourself deliberately or in some other way being obscene. To offer women some sort of compensation. I'm just saying, it's just like the drug legalization. If you want drugs legal, then you have to increase the crime for, the presence of the substance in your bloodstream if some tragedy happens. And it's just the price you have to pay for your liberty. If you want the liberty, you got to pay for the responsibility. It's like the gun owners who don't want to pay for the liability of the pain and suffering and death and mayhem caused by their liberty. They should pay for it. They should be willing to pay for it. I think. And I'm just thinking that there should be a compensating increased, sex crimed act or something of any male who abuses the privilege of being able to use a ladies' room. Any violation, cameras, any kind of bullshit, any game he's playing, that individual should definitely do jail time, all that kind of crap. If you violate, this liberty. Just this as compensation, that's all I'm saying. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to say. I don't think it's unreasonable. You might not agree with it, but it's not unreasonable.
What these people are like? You think they're perverts or some crazy...
See, now you're just putting all that crap in my head. No, I didn't say anything like that. Well, I mean, do I think they're perverts? Yeah, I think everybody's a little bit perverted. So you want me to give the list of all the things that I think are perverted? They sell machines that have a dildo on the end and fuck people in the ass. I mean, I think it's a little perverted if you need a machine to fuck you in the ass. It's a little perverted to me. But I mean, I could go through the 9 million things I could point to and say it's perverted. And some of them happen right here in this living room. And they're perverted. So what? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, that's right, nothing. Everybody's a pervert, newsflash. Some people are just inconveniently perverted in that they have to kind of wear their perversion on their exterior face, where other people can hide their perversions. I'm sorry about that, but, it's just good or bad luck, No, some people are just luckier than others. I can't fix that.
Types like that, but most transsexuals, we are more likely to get harassed. Though that that woman might go, hey, get the fuck out of here. You
Yeah, I understand. I can understand how you'd be uncomfortable going into a men's room in a dress. But I mean, also, I don't think that's I think that's another overreaction thing. I think most of the time that's going to go okay. It's only this rare redneck that you happen to be in there at the same time with him. It's going to be a problem. But those people maybe should also be vulnerable to being ticketed or arrested for violating somebody if they're going to harass you for going to the men's room in a dress. It's your right to wear a dress as a man. It's not against the law. And if somebody harasses you in a private room, you have a claim against them. And I think that those violations should be taken seriously. So yes, I'd like to increase, when there's a certain crime, I'd like the penalty to be really, really fucking high.
Pervert, or she might call her husband, and husband come in and beat this person up.
Right, and I think there should be draconian penalties for anything like that. Draconian. I mean, 10 years in prison, 20 years in prison. Yeah, I think that kind of, those tiny minorities of assholes are what I'm talking about. They're the ones that fuck this game. They're the ones that present the threat. It's like me talking about hackers on the internet and these trolls. A tiny percentage are these vicious assholes that will ruin message boards. They'll destroy the function of the internet. These fucking little prick weasel son of a bitch cunt bastard anus brain fuck shits that have nothing better to do with their life than break things. Yeah, we ought to squish them like bugs. Am I supposed to be sensitive to their perversion? I don't think so.
What's likely going to happen? We are the ones who are in danger here.
And again, I don't know where the hell I had any lack of respect for the dilemma. I said it's a complex problem, didn't I? I just said there's no simple solution, didn't I? I wish there was. I wish there was a little easy answer. We just put a little easy answer on and everything's fixed. Well, there's no such thing right now. There's no little easy answer. There's no little easy answer for the high school dilemma of cheap shower facilities for boys. There's no easy solution for the homosexual, the confused, the undecisive, unresolved yet individual. It's going to be uncomfortable. And I'd like to provide a solution, but no one wants to spend the money for the solution, which is to make privacy rooms. Yes, not bathrooms. Yes, you can use them as a bathroom, but they're just for anything you have to do that requires a bit of privacy. Yes. Alright, so enough. So I'll play the rest of this video if there's something I need to comment on. I will, and such. Alright, well, you know, I really don't feel like picking on it, but I mean, this, you know, anally rape men in the men's room or something. So I mean, by his own description, he's only illustrating the problem that yes, if you want to go to this extreme and say yes, well, it's probably a statistical possibility. It probably does happen now and then, like 1 in a million bathroom incidences or something. This might happen, but obviously it's more likely to happen with just regular homosexual men or something, or some other circumstance. So I mean, there's just no point in there's nothing really to worry about here. I don't think realistically that's not a huge threat, but here the whole point is he's almost making it out to be a threat. And what about? Well, okay, so you're making the argument for the oppressors by basically saying, well, look, see, there is some reason to worry, because you just pointed out how there's some reason to worry. So why should I give up what I have? And so again, we're back to square one again. I'm not advocating that people shouldn't be more sensitive and shouldn't be more liberal. I'm saying, yes, they should. I mean, women should be able to breastfeed and do all that stuff. I'm just saying, you probably should, or again, it's the ones who just don't, who are doing it in this aggressive way, okay, where their breast is just hanging there, and you're just saying, I mean, you could do a little to cover that up or something, just so, blah, 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 but they want to do it in this aggressive way. And that's the part that's insensitive to, again, I think, to the majority of men who do like to associate breasts with sex, not babies. So I'm just saying, it's not, we're not fighting about the fact that there should be sensitivity. Or the point is that it just isn't, you can't guarantee it, you can't force it, and so people don't have it, and that's what fucks the game. That's why I said it's not easy. You don't seem to be saying that's all so simple. I think you're acknowledging that it's not perfectly simple.
Like I said, I respect your views on atheism and philosophy.
Well, I mean, all that's irrelevant anyway. That's not the point. The point is you're sort of making this accusation that I'm talking like some kind of ignorant slob who didn't give it any thought. And I just think that's stupid. I mean, I just think it's stupid. I mean, maybe I don't put things as politically correct as you would wish. But again, I didn't suggest any law. I didn't suggest any solution, did I, in my video? No. I didn't agree with anything but the fact that this isn't a simple problem. It's a complex problem.
When it comes to this topic, I just don't think you made a good point. And,
okay, well, then we agree on that, because I don't think you, on this topic, made a good point here. I mean, you seem to have a real problem with trans women, and you seem pretty insensitive and pretty pigeonhole-y, profile-y, and all that kind of stuff. You sounded pretty insensitive.
Yeah. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll just link to it in this video. And what I'll just cut and paste my comment into the description of this video. So.
Yeah, somebody marked your comment as spam, so yeah, I approved it, and you know, that's all you can do. I mean, the comments, YouTube's comment thing sucks. It's just, I mean, this is a thing that should be simple, right? I mean, it really should be easy to say, I don't want a certain individual harassing me. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I won't go to their videos. They shouldn't be on my videos. We have nothing to say to each other because we can't say anything polite. So really facilitate our ability not to have to live next door to each other. Facilitate our ability not to be able to key each other's car or do anything else to each other, and allow me to block them, and you know, but they won't do that. You know, so then they have all this other crap mechanisms, this publicly, you know, this another tool to be abused, this stupid spam tool. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just bullshit.
Anyway.
I mean, it's, you know, it's victory for the abusers, not the users.
Yeah, I don't know why my comment doesn't show up. Like when I log into my logos for losers, my philosophy channel it's like.
Okay, well, we won't bother with all that, but you know, it's just because somebody marked it as spam. That's why it didn't show up. All right. So anyway, till next time, and such and so forth. And yeah, I don't know what to say to a heroin church. I mean, just fuck you. You know, just really, just fuck you, you silly person. You're just becoming a silly person. I mean, you used to seem like you had a little bit of rationality, and now you just can't seem to. You can't put any string of logic together. He made a video. It was like, you know, he's been fighting this stupid right to die thing in Canada as if they were making progress. And the big progress was, yeah, a guy had to go to court, and he won in court. So if you're willing to go to court for 6 months, you can get the right to die. So if you have 6 months to die, you know, yeah, maybe you can do it. Maybe you can get a decision before you're dead. Maybe. Maybe. But you're going to have to spend a big pile of money to do it. Anyway, till next time and such. So forth and whatnot. Because, you know, depending on what judge you get, your judge will say, fuck you, no. And then you'll have to appeal it. And then when you appeal it, they'll say, okay, well, we have to let you. But it's all, you know, that could take a year. Anyway, you know, I don't even bother with this. Shouldn't even bother responding to these people. Sucking idiots. Sorry, you're not an idiot. But you are reactionary. You're always happy. Sorry, but yeah, you're a reactionary. So anyway, I suppose that's good in terms of, from your perspective, because cliche woman thing, over emotional. Anyway, enough. Sorry. No, till next time.